Today we're taking a look at Ethereum's ETH coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see ETH go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome into Ethereum's ETH coin chart, guys. If you'd like to buy ETH or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. And as you can see, things are looking very positive for ETH. We're currently sitting at a value of $1,723 per ETH. And yes, we did unfortunately break out of our upwards trending channel, but it was as a result of testing this top line of resistance up here, as you can see. Not a big issue at all for sure. That was that 1,690 mark. In fact, what actually occurred was probably what you consider a little bit of a flag pattern. And whilst yes, it only was small and short, as you can see here, we saw the top end of that basically form itself just above here, and then we managed to break, and we broke in a very good way. I don't know why my cursor keeps locking like that, but you can sort of get the gist of where I'm coming from. It's that magnet tool's been activated. There we go. But you can see that nice little flag pattern managed to then, I suppose, break downwards, unfortunately, but we bounced back very quickly, tested and broke through that key point at $1,690, which is now acting as an area of support for us. From the perspective of another channel being in place, it's too early to tell yet, but overall we are trending in the right direction. One thing we don't have up at the moment is our moving averages, and they are going to be playing a very important role for us at this point in time. In particular, I'm referring to those 20-day moving averages, so that blue line you've seen now appear, and our red line being our 50-day moving average as well. Then I'll just chuck in the 200-day for reference right about there. There we go. You can see they're in now. The important point here is we have had a cross of that 20-day moving average above the 50-day moving average, indicating that the trend has officially changed in the short term. We are now in an upwards movement. Very positive, especially given the fact that we're seeing this across many cryptocurrencies at this point in time. It indicates to us that the market is finally starting to turn around. And if we zoom out a bit, we have been moving down basically since the 26th of April on the last cross there, and now have managed to regain some momentum. What's very exciting as well is this 200-day moving average at the top, sitting at $2,351 right here. That is becoming a close target for us. I mean, we're only $500 off. And in the world of crypto, that is nothing. It is only, that 30%, 20% sort of increase from where we are at this point in time in order to reach that. So very exciting times. On the volume front, nothing too spectacular currently going on. Hopefully we keep seeing the buying momentum continue, and that will really be reflected on our RSI. And as you can see, when we did shoot up, we almost got into that overbought range. We hit 68.81. We've dipped back down and come back up. Right now we're sitting at 67.03, so quite a high point, and probably one of the key reasons why the momentum has briefly stopped. Things are cooling off. People are probably getting out, making a bit of money, that sort of thing. So still, all in all, we need to see these solid movements continue. We don't want anything sporadic, jumping up very quickly. We want to see slow and consistent momentum start to build on the coin. So MACD wise, this will be another big one. What we have seen is something we were really hoping that would happen, and that is a rejection once again of that 12-day EMA. It didn't even get close to the 26-day EMA. Rejected, and we've kept moving upwards. This green period now is extending out for quite a long period of time, and whilst yes, it is looking like the momentum from a volume perspective isn't there, the trend is certainly there, and as people become more confident, you'll start to see the volume increase, of course, with many buyers. So looking very positive. Now let's zoom in for a second here, and how we can do that, go to the hourly chart, grab that one, and you can see, I suppose, a bit more of the short-term price action that we're seeing, we have seen once again another beautiful flag pattern start to form itself. Nice one right there. Now, it's a bit harder to chart these ones when it comes to, I suppose, small bits of information, but we're seeing this sort of a pattern start to form itself. Really, really nice. It's probably a bit more of a pennant type pattern, maybe something a bit like that, as we can see here. And it is indicating once again we're going to see another possible break. So very, very good, very, very positive indications and news for when it comes to ETH. And of course, being the second biggest cryptocurrency, the overall market as well. We're seeing Bitcoin follow a similar sort of pattern. So where is our next target? Because that's what we can start talking about now. What is that next target point? And it's actually quite simple. I'm going to shift this line up here. You can see this bounce point basically on the 24th of January, and it's that low. It's around about $2,160. That would be our next target. Ultimately, I'm going to still keep in place these support lines at this point in time, as it is possible that we could drop. We're not far off that point, but ideally, that is not what's going to occur. We're going to hopefully see a bit of this sort of action, maybe a bit of a test, as we're seeing now, before a solid movement up towards that point. Now, we can see our 200-day moving average moving very, very quickly towards it. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the time we get up to this point to test it, that 200-day moving average has met us there as well. So really, really cool stuff. And that would be a hard point to break through, but if we manage to do that, that would be massive. And the last time we were above that point was at the top of this short-term downtrend, but it was only very brief. So realistically, the last time was back over here in January at the start of the year. So we're talking quite literally 7 to 8 months ago at this point in time. So overall, what is the target? Well, it's quite clear, I think. $2,160 is what I'm aiming for. That wraps up today's analysis on Ethereum's ETH coin, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.